all of this. This is Caitlin Clark's career, and you really have people who want us to take them seriously, who are telling us, have told us, that she wasn't supposed to be on that list. What? Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Well, some folks have had a really bad couple of days. No, I'm not saying their car broke down. I'm not saying their dog bit the mailman. I'm just saying some folks are really having a hard time with Caitlin Clark being named one of the greatest women's basketball players ever. Associated Press. So apparently, from what I understand in passing, there are people who simply cannot handle that. I don't know what to tell you, other than you are living in delusion if you don't believe that Caitlin Clark is one of the top 5 women's basketball players ever. The list of accolades is too long for you to continue to pretend that she doesn't belong in the conversation amongst the greatest women's basketball players. You're just living with your head buried in the sand. Has to be. Now, I know the story. I know the narrative. I know that when grasping for straws for reasons to not have Caitlin Clark on the list, folks say the same old thing because they couldn't possibly say anything else. She never won, fill in the blank. Yeah, she never won a college championship. And so since her team, Iowa, by the way, did not win a college championship, there's no way she could be one of the greatest. Isn't that the narrative? And it seems to be the narrative attached to Caitlin Clark because it's the only thing they think that gives them some kind of credibility, I guess, but really there is no credibility. So just deal with it. All right, I'm being somewhat sarcastic. I understand that this is serious for some folks and they're really, really upset. But in all seriousness, you may recall 6 months ago, ESPN did this video segment about the top 5 college basketball players, women basketball players. And they put Caitlin Clark in the title. Is Caitlin the greatest college basketball player or something like that? And then when you watch this whole thing, you realize that they went from using her name in the title to then saying that she was possibly in the top 5 and then saying she wasn't even in the top 5. Ridiculous. But like I said, if you didn't hear me, it was ESPN. Enough said about that. I dealt with that at the time. So this is a great time to reflect on that episode that I did here on the Adrienne Ross Show and what these people said about Caitlin Clark. Then we'll bring it back to current day where the Associated Press was able to give credit where credit was due and is due, unlike ESPN and ESPN's usual narrative. So let's go back to what I said 6 months ago, and then I'll meet you back over here on this side. 6 months ago, I titled this Dismantling ESPN's Caitlin Clark Top 5 College Ballers Snub and Reading Body Language. Let's just take a look at a little bit of it.
In the open, we said, what makes a top 5 player? winning. The only strike against Caitlin Clark is that she has not won a national championship. And that is the only thing that you can put against her, because the way she has dominated the record books when she was at Iowa was something you cannot duplicate. She's a 3-time NCAA scoring leader and assist leader, a true point guard for the people, 3-time All-American, 2-time Naismith Player of the Year, 2-time AP Player of the Year, all-time leading scorer. She broke the records of Kelsey Plum and Sabrina. Like, literally, there is nobody who has been such a front-facing name through a direct reflection of her skill set. But how can...
Okay, so if she was a lawyer, she would certainly lose the case. Okay? She just told us why Caitlin Clark is in the top 5. And is this Alexa back here? Because she's looking like she doesn't even believe her. She's looking like, okay, hurry up and get this over with, because this isn't ringing true. She totally broke down all the reasons why Caitlin is the top 5. Totally. So if you were a lawyer, you would be horrible, and somebody should be asking for different representation. If your purpose was to disprove Caitlin Clark as one of the top 5, you failed miserably. But she didn't win a national title. After you're naming all this, but she didn't win a national title. She did everything. It cannot be duplicated. You just said that. But, you know, she by herself was supposed to win a national title on a team that's not like these other teams that I've already mentioned. Nonsense. So back it up just a little bit and go from there.
Direct reflection of her skill set, but how can you be a top 5 player if you have not won a title?
Because winning a title takes a team. You can be a top 5 player whose team didn't win. We're talking about college. We're talking about what she did with Iowa. I said this already, but this kind of stuff is just so ridiculous. Remember, their title started with Caitlin Clark being the greatest of all time. And now they're saying she's not even in the top 5. Bogus on a different planet.
It's a great point, which is why
Alexa got nothing to say.
Me, all right.
Look, let me go back. She looks over at Alexa. And Alexa's like, I would love to have a body language expert. Not that I believe in all those things, but I would love to have a body language expert read what look at the look on her face. She's like, and she's over here. She's looking for Alexa to bail her out. She's looking for Alexis to nod. She's looking for Alexis, and you know, she seems to agree as it goes on. But in the moment here, she just kind of like, I don't know, you kind of pushing it right here, and you know, hey, she doesn't know what to do but purse her lips.
A title.
And then she just smiles. She's begging for an amen. And Alexa is one of them quiet folks. She don't have an amen. She's got an internal nod, I guess.
It's a great point, which is why I agree with you. Convince me, Ari.
You're still not showing anything. She almost
again, we read Cheryl Miller's resume. She's a winner. She's a winner multiple times. Yeah. But like, I have a really hard time. It's like paining me to leave Caitlin off this list because of the record, because of what she's done.
Oh, it pains me to leave Caitlin Clark off the list because absolutely, positively, I am required to say that you have to have won a championship. So it pains me, just pains me. These people
outside of those 94 feet, she has really thrust.
She's still making the case for Caitlin. Lawyer fired. She's still making the case for Caitlin, but she's gonna, by golly, I'm gonna stick with you. Have to have a championship. Oh man, they're gonna die on that hill.
Basketball in the mainstream. She has collected her individual accolades. I
get it.
Alexa,
I hear you.
Let's go back. Let's go back to Alexa. She don't agree. I don't know what she's doing. She's crossing she got her leg crossed over here. She puts her hand up like this. She's just like, I gotta go along with the narrative because that's what we do. That's what we do around here.
Alexa,
I hear you.
I don't know. Whatever.
Get it?
Oh.
If picking.
Oh man, these people. This stuff is so funny. Poor Alexa, right? She just like, you hear Ari talking about, oh, it just pains me. I'm so pained to leave her off the list. Well, I tell you who ain't pained, the Associated Press. Instead, they are obviously observant as to the fact that Caitlin Clark deserves to be on the list. But again, there are people out there who are having a really difficult day because all they got is no championship, just parroting ESPN or ESPN parroting them or whatever the narrative is. Caitlin Clark clearly deserves to be on the list. Now, we're going to get to some of the other people on the list, and then I'm going to go to some of Caitlin Clark's accolades that further solidify that she is supposed to be on the list and is. And maybe ESPN will do better than they did 6 months ago. Not that Caitlin went back to college. Whatever she's done in college has already been done. But maybe they'll have a change of heart. It doesn't matter. We all know the truth. So let's look at AP's article about this list entitled "The Greatest Women's College Basketball Players Who Made the List." And I have to say here, what a difficult job. So I commend the voting panel for this because this is just not easy. There are a lot of players who could be considered for first team, for second team. It's just that, which says a lot, right? There's a lot of talent out there. And let's read a little bit of this article. It starts out by saying, for many college basketball experts, selecting the greatest players of the women's poll era sounds easy until they try it. And then it says, of course, USC's Cheryl Miller and Diana Taurasi of UConn are relatively easy choices, but narrowing the list from there gets tricky, inevitably leaving out talented players, including those who sharpen their skills during later professional careers. And that's one thing you have to remember. This is not taking into consideration their pro careers. This is based on college. And even still, it's not easy. So just scroll down a little bit. Rebecca Lobo chimed in. It says, nearly impossible. Rebecca Lobo, a former UConn standout and NCAA champion, said of the assignment of selecting and voting. She says, as I'm looking down the list, I'm like, no brainer, no brainer, no brainer. But then I'm like, there's too many no brainers and not enough slots. So she was one of the 13 of the panel. And here's what I was just saying. Now the panel is made up of, let me make this clear, former players and AP sports writers. Those are the ones who voted for the greatest players. So it says they were instructed to consider only the athletes' college careers. Other factors, however, were up to their discretion, including championship pedigree, record-breaking statistics, or simply their ability to will their teams to victory. And Lobo said it was extraordinarily difficult, especially to try to hone in on a player's college career and eliminate their pro career from your brain. There are going to be players who are Hall of Fame caliber players who aren't on the list. So here are the others. Joining Cheryl Miller in the front court on the first team are Breanna Stewart and Candace Parker. Caitlin Clark joins Taurasi as the guards. That's the first team. Breanna Stewart, who's won multiple championships in college. Candace Parker, UConn Lady Vols under the late coach Pat Summitt. And then, of course, Caitlin Clark and Diana Taurasi, also from UConn. So it says Taurasi helped UConn win 3 national championships. Okay, scrolling down. Taurasi said, what an accomplishment and what an honor. So she's very grateful to be there along with great women so many great women who paved the way. And obviously CC led Iowa back-to-back NCAA championship appearances while setting the scoring record for any Division I women's or men's basketball player. And people are still saying she shouldn't be on there. Come on, people. Examine your bias, okay? So it talks about what Caitlin does on the court, and this is what she said. Being named an AP All-American is one of the most storied honors in college sports. It means a lot to be named to this all-time list alongside players I looked up to. It's fun to think about what it would have been like if we all played together. Yeah, it is pretty cool. And so it's interesting because Maya Moore, her name is going to show up. Caitlin grew up really respecting her, and Caitlin's on the first team. Maya Moore is not. Remember, we're talking about college. And then it goes on to talk about Breanna Stewart winning 4 NCAA championships at UConn It talks about, and other things, it talks about Candace Parker, who led Tennessee to back-to-back titles. And it talks about Cheryl Miller, of course, one of the original greats. Parker praises Cheryl Miller, and it just goes on and on. Now, let's get to the second team. Okay, the second team backcourt is UConn Sue Bird, Virginia's Dawn Staley, of course, who coaches South Carolina right now. And then you've got the Lady Vols, Shamiqua Holdsclaw, UConn's Maya Moore, and Louisa Harris of Delta State. They're the second team front court. And Holdsclaw, again, Tennessee Lady Vols, my heart there, 3-time NCAA champion. I remember those 3 in a row, and et cetera, et cetera. Harris, she won 3 AIAW titles in the 70s. So yeah, there's a whole lot of talent here. It makes it really, really difficult to make those decisions. So what about the others? The reserves, there's a group of reserves, and you've got UCLA's Ann Myers-Drysdale. You might know her from calling obnoxiously, I might add, calling the Phoenix Mercury games. You've got Lynette Woodard from Kansas. You got Cheryl Swoops, Texas Tech. And you've got Lisa Leslie, Brittany Griner, Asia Wilson. These are reserves. And I already gave you the first team, second team, and these are the reserves. And these are some heavyweight names. But that's how steep the competition is for first and second team. So the voting panel included former players Deb Antonelli, know her. She calls some of the Fever games with Pat Boylan, and I love Deb Antonelli. I love listening to her. She's my favorite calling the games, WNBA games, along with, then after that, Rebecca Lobo. But Deb Antonelli, Nancy Lieberman, Rebecca Lobo, Ann Myers-Drysdale, Christy Winter-Scott, poll founder Mel Greenberg, and current and former AP sports writers Aaron Beard, Oscar Dixon, Doug Feinberg, Stephen Hawkins, Janie McCauley, Chuck Schaffner, and Teresa Walker. This is the list of voters. So again, quite a difficult job coming up with those. But just to get back to Caitlin Clark before I end this, she led Iowa to back-to-back championships, obviously the scoring leader. But let's just take a look at the list of what she accomplished in college. And if you're one of those people out there who's saying, oh goodness, like you can't eat today because your stomach is so upset because there's no way Caitlin Clark should be on the list. Let me just show you this list. We ain't got time to read it because, we got other things that require time and this would just take too long. But let's just go through the motions here for those who just need to see the list. ESPN.com. What records does Caitlin Clark hold? Iowa and NCAA honors to know. Interesting thing. This is a list from ESPN in February of this year. And then ESPN gets on television and tells us that Caitlin cannot be considered even in the top 5 because she never won a title. And look at this list. I mean, this is her post NCAA career, and that's having her jersey retired. All of the rest of this, her senior year, Big Ten Player of the Year, unanimous AP preseason All-American selection, all-time leading scorer, average most 30-point games by any man or woman in Division I in the past 25 seasons. I just don't have time. I don't have time to read all this. I'm just going to scroll for you, okay? To be continued, right? If you got to go mow the lawn and come back. Like, serious, I'm being major sarcastic today. But my goodness, look at the accolades. That right there was senior year. I'm going back. This is senior year, all that. Now we're going to get to junior year. Here we go again. All this senior year. I'm not even reading it all. I'll put the link in the description. You can go back and read it when you got time to set aside. Sophomore year. Again, she broke a scoring record. Wow, single game scoring record at Carver Hawkeye Arena. It's just wild. Freshman year, 5-time Big Ten Player of the Week. Goodness gracious. I mean, led NCAA Division I in scoring, set Iowa program freshman record for points and assists. All of this. This is Caitlin Clark's career. And you really have people who want us to take them seriously, who are have told us that she wasn't supposed to be on that list. What? But the AP said, we're not drinking the Kool-Aid. We understand what's up. So again, this is laced in sarcasm today because I understand that there are people who are just like, they just don't get it. They get it. Like, you got to get it, right? They don't want to get it. And they're stuck on that narrative. I'm telling you, people will find a hill and they will die on that hill. But congratulations to everyone, whether it was first team, second team, reserves. This is historic, right? For you to have been able to play the game you love, and now you're being recognized for it in a special way, in this way. And those who have been kind of, you run along, you go find you the championship you never got or whatever. Come on, give them their flowers, as some of you like to say. So congratulations to all who made this list. And it's a special, to Caitlin Clark, because she's the one that, for whatever reason, people have trouble eating and sleeping when they think that she's on the list. Well, she's on the list, but she was already on the list before AP told us she was on the list. I could go on, but I won't. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you, Amanda.